Welcome back, sexy motherfuckers. Hope you're doing phenomenal. Today we're going to speak about how to make the universe skyrocket your wealth. Yes, you've heard it right. You can actually, with the communication that you have with the universe, skyrocket your wealth. Now, why do you think I put the dollar sign, a heart here, and a lovely lady here? Yes, that's a lovely lady. Because your wealth is not just about being rich. It's not just about making money. It's actually all-encompassing. I don't want people following this video to become a multimillionaire and then getting cheated on by their wife or being overweight and fat and being miserable when they look at themselves in the mirror, right? That's not the goal. The goal of this entire channel is for you to help you become a multi-dimensional winning individual. So let's get right into it. We have a lovely guest in the background as well, as always. So if you hear some noises, if you hear some laughs, if you hear anything, don't worry, I don't have ghosts in my place, at my place. It's just that I have lovely guests following those masterclasses. Now, what is the difference between somebody who is wealthy, right? Somebody who is wealthy and somebody who is poor. Poor, loser. Well, the thing is this. What's the commonly accepted beliefs? Right? A lot of people, I nearly don't have any black left. So what's the commonly accepted belief between wealthy and poor? Well, the people who are wealthy, what is commonly accepted? Like, working hard, bro. Suffering from success. Working hard, right? Hard, or even working smart. Smart, that's what society tells you to do, right? You need to work hard, you need to work smart. But that's absolutely wrong. Why is it wrong? Well, simply because we all know construction workers, cleaning ladies that are working extremely hard, but they're miserable, overweight sometimes, and not rich. We all know people that are super smart, high IQ, have done plenty of studies, plenty of diplomas, but AI is replacing them, and some people are filled with diplomas, but now they're overqualified to find a job. And for simplicity's sake, I have some of my clients who were like making I think it was one that is a radiologist in Austin, Texas. He was making between $400,000 per year to $800,000, nearly $1 million with all the bonuses and all that stuff. And the guy was still under antidepressants, bad with ladies, and miserable. So it doesn't, when we talk about wealthy, it's in every single aspect. But it's not enough, okay? That's not what makes somebody truly wealthy. Now, you may say, okay, well, I know. There's other stuff. And today we're going to speak about the esoteric layers, the secrets of prosperity, the secrets of wealth, right? So if you, for instance, here, this would be the visible part of the iceberg, and this is an iceberg, okay? So this is the submerged part of the iceberg when it comes to wealthy and poor. So here, for instance, this is what we call exoteric, right? What is commonly accepted. Exoteric is the knowledge for the masses, and this is the esoteric layer, the hidden layer, right? And as you've understood, there's much more in the esoteric layer than the exoteric layer. Now, something that is more commonly accepted as well, instead of working hard and working smart, is also, well, idea execution. Usually people who are very wealthy or very rich or prosperous, they have a tendency to be extremely fast when it comes to idea execution. So speed comes into place, right? Then there is the belief system, right? Belief systems, if you have rich belief system, if you see the abundance everywhere, then obviously you have more chances of being wealthy. They have Napoleon Hill, in Think and Grow Rich, would tell you, well, they have masterminds, right? They have people around them, coaches, mentors, etc., etc. But let me tell you this is not enough. This is not enough. There is a hidden esoteric layer that we're going to discuss today that will, by the end of this video, make you wealthy, or at least understand and have the awareness to become wealthy in health, wealth, and relationship. Because at the end of the day, again, your goal is not to be just a fat fuck that has millions in the bank account, miserable, depressed, and manipulated by the ladies, right? Your goal is not to be a unidimensional loser. or a unidimensional hypocrite. Your goal is to be a multi-dimensional anomaly. Cool? Cool. Let's get straight into it. So, what is the esoteric layer that most people don't understand when it comes to building their wealth in every single aspect or excelling in every single aspect? Let me just put this. Let me just clean my board for you guys to have a beautiful YouTube video in front of your very eyes. Yeah. I mean, if you guys don't like me cleaning the board, you can just fucking skip, right? You're not robots, you're not trees. But if you like when I clean stuff, it also is a metaphor for you to clean your mind and getting to the next point. So, when it comes to wealth and prosperity, wealth, okay? This is you. Now, let me ask you this. Is it your words that are going to make you wealthy? Is it the action? This is a bicep. Okay, this is a biceps, okay? Words, your actions. Is it the positive thoughts? This is positive thoughts. Okay, this is actions, your actions. This is positive thoughts, positive thinking. Is it words? Is it action? Is it positive thinking? No. What are you, gay? No, it's not enough. No, it's not enough. You see, this is not the important part. All of this is a tiny fraction of what determines your wealth. What actually determines your wealth is this. We've already spoken about this. This is your aura. Why? Because does the universe speak English?
No.
Does the universe speak French?
Hell no.
Hell no. Does the universe speak Arabic?
No, no, no.
Does the universe speak Aramaic, the language of Jesus?
No.
No. What does the universe speak?
Nothing.
Vibration, right? It doesn't speak like a human language. It speaks vibration. The language of the universe the big U, the universe is vibration, motherfuckers, okay? Please note it down. It's extremely important. This is why Tesla said, if you want to discover the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. This is why Einstein said, my favorite quote of Einstein, I have a lot of favorite quotes of Einstein, but one of the favorite quotes of Einstein was, if you want a certain reality, you need to match the frequency of that reality, and you cannot help but get and attract that reality, okay? So, the language of the universe is vibration. So your words does not matter. Your action matters so only after. And then the New Age movement, the spiritual gurus and the guys who are fucking doing hugs and trees, by the way, don't be that, okay? Don't be like the spiritual, doing some spiritual bypassing or just like being a spiritual and just feeling good and thinking positive thoughts and then doing hugs with trees. You look, I'm not gonna say it, I don't want to be striked, but it's not enough, okay? So don't be gay. Don't be just like, oh, positive thinking and then don't do anything. So what you need is your vibration, your aura, your electromagnetic field. And remember, your electromagnetic field scientifically is mostly comprised of the one in your brain and the one in your heart. The heart being 5,000 times more powerful than the one in your brain. The brain sends out the signal, so it's the electric part of the electromagnetic field, and the brain is the magnet which brings stuff and reveals stuff in your reality towards in your aura. And for the sake and the simplicity of this video, I want us to visualize and conceptualize the universe like an eye, like God, if you will, right? The all-seeing eye. That way, we have something that we can kind of like have a relationship with. Now, that's the absolute baseline. If you don't understand this, then I can't help you out, okay? You need to go back to fucking 3rd grade. So you understand that your relationship with God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, the force, nature, is mainly with your vibration. Now there's a caveat to this, okay? Vibration there's a caveat that most people in this spiritual community, you don't think I see you, I see you. The most people in the spiritual community, they don't even know the caveat of the entire language of the universe, which is vibration. What is the caveat? I'm going to write it in big because I want you guys to take notes. By the way, take notes, send them in the comments, send them to me on Instagram. As always, share this video with the people that you want to elevate, your loved ones, whatever it is. The caveat of the universe, caveat of the big U. The big U, caveat of the big U is, I really need to buy a fucking black, yeah. Caveat of the big U, suspense, suspense. You can only perceive what you are the. You can only perceive what you are the vibrational alignment with. That's super fucking important. Why? Have you noticed some people, two people in the ghetto, right? Let's use 50 Cent as an example. It's one of your favorite businessmen. Yeah, because guys, he's not just a rapper, he's a fucking businessman, a genius man. A genius even. That's the problem when you're speaking in different languages. Either way, my point is, two people, 50 Cent being one of them, in the ghetto. One stays stuck in the vibrational alignment of poverty and is not able to transcend poverty. And the other, aka in that example, 50, right? 50 cents. And then random dude, basically. Random dude. And 50 cents, right? He was able to elevate his vibration, consciously or unconsciously, to perceive the abundance all around him. Because abundance is everywhere. It's just a matter of vibrational alignment. Why do you think we speak about dimensions and not levels? It's because some dimensions are intersected, intertwined. And until you elevate your vibration to match a certain dimension, you won't be able to see it. So in this case, 50 Cent, because he raised his vibration consciously or unconsciously, he saw the dimension of abundance. Okay? Even though physically he was in the ghetto. And this guy, because this random dude, he didn't see and he saw poverty. Right? So, what does that tell you? What does that prove? It means that wherever you are physically in life right now, what is the starting point is your vibrational alignment, even if it's a dissonance compared to your physicality or your physical environment. This is extremely important, which is why typically, another example, your reticular activating system, the RAS, is one of the most important conscious parts of your brain. Why? Because your reticular activating system is literally the part of the brain that filters out reality. Have you noticed? Let's say, for instance, you buy a red car, right? You're super excited to buy a red car. You buy your first red car, and then you notice that everyone has a red car. And then you're like, fuck, I thought I was unique. But no, it's because now that it's part of your vibration or the dimension in which you are aligned with, now you can see, because of the vibrational alignment of the red car, now you see red cars everywhere, okay? So it's extremely important for you to understand that you can only perceive what you are the vibrational alignment with. Okay, that's the baseline introduction. Now, most of you motherfuckers, c'est ça le nom? Non, ça va? Hein? Ouais. Most of you motherfuckers base yourself only on one dimension. Yes, yes, yes. By the end of this video, you'll be a multi-dimensional master. You'll master the dimensions of reality. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. You can then impress people, or you can impress your girlfriend after that. So, most of you motherfuckers think that you are this. You think you're just matter. You think you're just like a physical body. You're stuck in the 3D. You're not. What do you mean you're not? Let me tell you, calm down. You are not this, please. Fucking take a mental picture of this. This is not you. You are not just a fucking entity, advanced chimpanzee on a spinning rock and fucking entity of flesh. You're not that. You're much more than that. And once you come to the realization of what you truly are, then you can start to communicate directly with the universe and therefore increase and skyrocket your wealth and your prosperity. So you're not this, okay? I'm gonna put you, just for you to understand and see the comparison, I'm gonna put you here. Most people think that this is them, but this is not the case, okay? This is not true. What is true is so yes, you are part of the 3D with your body. But remember, this is one of the electromagnetic field, this is another one, your heart. The emotional field, for the simplicity's sake of this video, don't fucking come to me, you spiritual motherfucker, saying, oh, it's the etheric or it's the astral. For the simplicity's sake of this video, I talk in terms of 4D, 3D, etc. Okay, don't come at me in the comments. So, the emotional plane, which is more subtle, more fluid, and less dense than the 3D plane, is the plane of your heart, the emotional plane, the 4D. But you're also, because you're able to think and you have belief systems and you're able to tap into the ether to bring thoughts into physical form, you also have access to the 5D, which is the mental plane, okay? And obviously above that, for simplicity's sake, I'm not just going to say 6D, I'm going to say all the dimensions, all the superior dimension. And there's like, sorry, my dog is coming. Let me open up, because he's such a fan of my masterclasses, so obviously he needs to come, right? You want to learn some multidimensional stuff? Cool. Either way, don't do some noise. Attention au verre. Multidimensional stuff, okay? So, now, what's very important is most people, what do? They focus on the 3D, taking action. This is basically like your hands, right? How you take action, what you do. Then, some people start to feel the right things, right? With the heart, they start to feel the right things. Few people start to align themselves also mentally, right? This is more so the smart work. This is the like feeling good, and this is taking action, basically, right? That would be like, if you separated all the dimension, that would be working hard here. That would be working smart here. This would be basically being a good person, being good. But it's not enough. Because at the end of the day, you are not your aura. Let me do this. Your aura, I have too many fucking pens. Your aura is not just in the 3D. It's not just in the 4D, as you've understood. It's not just in the 5D. It's all encompassing, okay? And even the thing that they don't tell you is you actually have a connection to source. Yeah, by the way, motherfuckers, if you're still not a believer, go watch all my other videos, because you need to understand that one of the main things that they don't tell you when people who are excelling in every single aspect, or that are prosperous or wealthy in every single aspect, is that they have a direct connection to source. Yes, it's not sexy with the satanic agenda to say that on the news, but it's true. Some of the people that haven't sold their soul, that are successful in every single aspect, is usually because they have a strong connection to source. And by the way, don't get fooled, because when there is some people that are pushing the satanic agenda, right, to get all the material riches, then obviously they're not multidimensionally winning, because they have sold one part of their dimension, whether it's the mental dimension, the 4D, the 3D, they have basically exchanged that, right? Either way, not to get too in the area where I could get striked on this channel, But basically, the connection to source. You're always connected to source, by the way. This illusion of the 3D is, why do I speak like Trump? I do like this. So the illusion of the 3D is that you think that you're disconnected, right? Because the signal basically right here, the signal is strong here, very, very strong. You can feel it. You're literally part of the source. And then it gets weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. That's why some people, when they're in the 3D, they don't recognize God. They don't feel God in their heart, or they don't feel God within them. That's completely normal. You decided as a soul to incarnate in this third dimensional realm to experience pain, suffering, and contrast of the unconditional love that is the source. That has been proven with the study of NDEs and the study of OBEs. Cool. Now, this is your vibration, this is your aura. Now you could ask me like, okay, but bro, like, how aura? You know? Like, you dumb motherfucker, right? How aura? Like, how do you actually develop the aura to be able to communicate with the universe? Well, I want you to think in terms scientifically of vibration. Let's take the example of something that we all know, and that is comprising at least 70% of our body, water. Water, in its most dense form, is what? Is an ice cube. Okay, this is an ice cube, right? I'm not talking about the rapper. Song. Wait, I'm not talking about the rapper, guys. I'm talking about the fucking waters. Calm down, okay? So, ice cube. Ice cube is literally water in the 3D. If you raise the vibration of the ice cube, if you put it in the microwave, why are you looking so depressed, G? Either way, my dog is looking depressed because he doesn't understand the multidimensional stuff, right? Either way, ice cube. If you raise the vibration, and if you basically raise the vibration for the ice cube to become in the 4D and become more fluid, what is it? What happens then? It becomes water, right? That's the material aspect of the energy of water. Material. This is the fluid aspect of the energy of water. And if you raise the vibration even more with the microwave, what it becomes then? It becomes, fuck, how do you say vapeur d'eau? Yeah, sorry guys, sometimes I forget my English and sometimes I forget my French, but so basically it becomes steam. Voila, water steam. Whew. So that's more on the subtle plane. It becomes subtle, right? And then above that, in the infinite dimension, it comes back to consciousness, ether, okay? So consciousness, ether. Cool. But what is the main difference? This is the same energy. This is the same this is the same energy. The main difference between ice cube, water, and steam is let me put it in black. It's the rate of vibration, right? Literally, the vibration of the ice cube is super slow, super dense, okay? Here, the fluid is a bit more strong, and the subtle is like this, and then this is invisible, okay? So, it's only a matter of rate of vibration. Now, every single thing in this universe vibrates, as Tesla said, as Einstein proven, and as quantum physics has proven with the observer effect. Beautiful experiment. If you're new to this channel and you haven't watched it and you don't know what the observer effect is, you can watch my video on how to unlock the winning frequency and how quantum physics 10x my income, okay? Either way, rate of vibration. So if we want to reverse engineer that, this rate of vibration is also applicable to you, especially you, because you're a multidimensional individual. You're not stuck in one dimension. You are all of this, okay? So let's use this to increase our aura to be able to increase the communication that we have with the universe. All right. Because I need to be your big brother here on YouTube. Yeah, by the way, it's funny because I have more and more people telling me like, you know, you literally explain all the questions that I had throughout my whole entire life, throughout my childhood in school, because I couldn't understand why we were learning things and why life happened this way. And it's the same thing with me. Like every single time I was in school, I asked why, but for some fucking reason, the professors couldn't answer me. They were like, oh, it's just the way it is. It is what it is, right? But either way, point being, let me clean it again. But I'm going to do like a crash course. This little drawing is going to be a crash course on reality. I need to change my serviettes. What the fuck? I'm struggling with my English today. It's weird. Usually I'm struggling with my French. My cleaning cloth. There you go. Cool. So, because I love you guys, I'm going to give you purple just for you. I'm going to give you a crash course on reality. Boom. Wow! Yeah, I know, you're so excited. Calm the fuck down, okay? Don't masturbate yet. So, crash course on reality. You know you're a multidimensional individual. You're not just in the 3D, you're in the 4D, you're the 5D, in infinite amount of dimensions, especially when you come back to the soul plane. One of the things is going to be when you die. Death is not the end, by the way. They have proven that more and more. By the way, have you noticed there is an elevation in consciousness happening these days? I see more and more very materialistic scientists or materialistic journals or random society that actually gets more and more aware of the infinity and the eternal soul that we actually are. You are actually immortal, guys. Nothing in your life happens by accident. You have signed a soul contract, etc., etc. Last video, okay? Cool. Crash course on reality. So, let's reverse engineer. Let's get back to our dimensions, okay? And let's reverse engineer the prosperity and the wealth, okay? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Cool. So get back to this. This is the 3D, right? This is the 4D. This is the 5D, the mental plane, the thoughts, and this is the infinite, basically, right? Just for the sake of this video. Cool. The infinite dimensions or the dimensions above. Now, you need to understand, what we're doing here is literally metaphysics. Metaphysics is the science of manipulating energy and consciousness. It's basically, metaphysics is the science of the unseen or the study of the unseen. Metaphysics means literally beyond physics, the physical. So it's beyond the physical. So we're not just here. All of this above is the science of metaphysics, allowing you to manipulate energy, allowing you to manipulate consciousness. Because if you're not fucking aware of that, everything is energy, vibration, and frequency. A synonym for that is everything is consciousness. Everywhere. I've proven that in the How to Unlock Your God Income. Watch this after this video. Don't come running in and go scroll and doom scroll. Finish this one, don't be a fucking goldfish, and then get to the How to Unlock the God Income. Either way, everything is consciousness in this universe. So you're constantly interacting with the consciousness. So if you learn metaphysics, which is the study of the unseen, how to manipulate energy, how to manipulate consciousness, then obviously understanding already how the world works will put you above 99% of people. Right? And which is why there's only 1%, it's called the 1% for a reason. Only 1% is truly wealthy on this planet, honestly. When I'm speaking about wealthy, I'm speaking about the three planes of wealthy, right? So obviously dollar, the health, and then the relationships that you have. Oop, boom. Beautiful girl that is super happy to see you. Should we call her? What's her name? We're gonna call her another name that is very American. Brittany. Perfect. Brittany. I don't even know if you write Brittany, but this is Brittany basically. Okay, she's on her own side. That way you guys can, every single time you feel sad, you can look at her beautiful smile. Cool. Crash course on reality. Now, let's reverse engineer. You guys want wealth. You guys, that's the objective, right? You guys want wealth. So, in the 3D, what does that mean? It means that in the 3D, for simplicity's sake, we're going to take this example, okay? Because, cool. So, means in the 3D, you want prosperity. You want dollar signs. Cool. Now, let's reverse engineer that. Let me ask you. Instead of going, because the goal is to go like this, but most people are just only aware of what they want in the 3D and what to do with the 3D. So how would you then feel? Because that's the emotional plane. That's the mental plane, that's the soul plane, basically. If you want dollar signs, let's reverse engineer that. How would you feel in the 4D? Well, usually, if you had a lot of dollar sign, you wouldn't be stressed and in survival mode. You would feel serene and abundant, right? Okay, cool. If you feel serene and abundant, if you would feel serene and abundant, then how would you think? What type of thoughts would you nurture, right? Well, usually, if you're not a psycho like me, you would actually have thoughts of love and value. Another way of seeing this is, how can I give max amount of value to others? And I'm telling you this, why do you think I'm fucking doing these videos, guys? Because I'm serene and abundant, I have the dollar signs. And so that's why if you feel serene and abundant with yourself, because by the way, just dollar signs without inner work doesn't work, okay? Because there's plenty of people that have a lot of money and they're so afraid and they're super tight with their money. They have a lot of money, but they're still enslaved. They're still enslaved by money because they're afraid of losing it. That's not so true, right? So that's not the goal. The goal is for you to have money but feel serene and abundant. Typically, the reason why Olivier and I, we give so much to charity, we give so much to other people to obviously activate the law of circulation, but it's because we feel serene and abundant. That's the type of wealth and the type of richness that you want to look forward to, okay? There's no point for you to have dollar signs if it is for you to sacrifice your inner peace. So that's why you need to do the inner work as well. And if you watch those videos, you get more aware of the inner work that you need to do, and therefore you will be less stressed. By the way, shout out to you, Claudia. Claudia, you told me today, if I'm not mistaken, that the mere fact of watching, had a depression 2 years ago, the mere fact of watching my videos has completely removed your anxiety. So shout out to you, bro. Guys, feel free to tell me in the comments as well. Some of you, you told me that it saved you from depression and stuff like that. I'm super fucking happy, by the way, that you guys are sharing that. It warms my heart. So don't hold back. Feel free to say that in the comments and send me messages. Either way, coming back to the 5D, you would have thoughts of love and value. How can I add the maximum amount of value to others? Example in case, this video, for instance. Cool. And then on the infinite plane, basically, how would your soul be, or what would be the truest version of yourself? Well, it would be authenticity. If you remove all the bullshit programming, all the limiting beliefs, all the traumas, you would be authentic. You would be unconditional love. Unconditional love. But most importantly, limitless. You would have no fucking limits. So, if you want to reverse engineer dollar sign, now you know what to do. You need to have the awareness and the consciousness of authenticity, unconditional love, and limitless. If you're not even aware that you're able to be authentic, unconditional love, and limitless, you will never be it, right? It starts with an awareness. Awareness then creates the belief system, okay? Once you're aware of what's possible to be and what's possible to do in this reality, then obviously, this has a ripple effect. Your spiritual realm, your spiritual dimension has a ripple effect on the mental dimension. Now that you know it's possible and that you are limitless and you can chill the fuck down and stop listening to all the toxic bullshit narrative that is around you, then now you can start to embody or have a better belief system, right? That's belief system. Let me put it in blue, that way you guys understand. Belief system, right? Better beliefs. And without the beliefs, it's impossible to be rich, by the way, to be wealthy. If you don't, even like in Britney's case, if Britney doesn't realize that she can actually attract her dream man, she won't have the belief system good enough to be able to then create and have a ripple effect in the emotional plane and the 3D plane, right? That's why women that haven't necessarily healed from their traumas, childhood traumas, have a very hard time to then feel safe in the emotional, or at least think that men can give them love and are not just assholes, and can feel safe around some masculine men, and therefore dates some masculine men. Same thing for guys, by the way. This is not just like a gender thing. But you see what I mean? You need to be aware of the reality. Once you're aware and you have the consciousness around the reality, then you can have great belief systems. And then what happens is you can then embody, the right being, right? The right emotion, because being is just like the vibration, the aura, and therefore your emotions. So you can have the right emotions, and remember, emotions are denser. Okay, hold on. He wants to get out. T'as dit quoi? Tu veux qu'on fasse quoi? Vas-y, bah, rappelle-toi ça. So, your belief system determines the emotions, right? Obviously, because the more you think of the negative thoughts, the bigger it becomes in your mind, and therefore it takes your whole entire mind, and therefore you become stressed, and then you start doing some dumb shit, right? And the drivers of behaviors and actions are actually emotions. So you see, if you have the right belief system, thinking what's possible to do and developing and being excited about the future because you know you are building a plan that is going in the right direction, then obviously you're going to feel abundant, you're going to feel better, and that's going to be obviously having a ripple effect on the 3D, on your actions, because emotions are, again, drivers of action. So you're going to take the right actions, okay? But so, what's the fucking point? Crash course on reality. Well, you see, it's all a matter of mastering metaphysics, mastering energy, vibration, and frequency, mastering and slowing down the right vibration, right? Oh, sorry, it's actually the opposite. The opposite, it should be, there you go. So the more intense vibration and the more dense vibration, okay? So, but we have now, with this knowledge, we've reversed engineered what type of vibration you need to embody and you need to use and slow down thanks to the 3D, and now, boom, you know what to do. So basically we did this, and now it's come back to this, okay? By the way, parentheses, when I spoke about the vibrational alignment stuff, immediately after you watching this video, you're going to be more aware. You haven't noticed this, but you're reprogramming your subconscious mind every single time you watch my videos. And if you watch them over and over again, shout out to you, Zaidi. Zaidi, he's watching like at least 7 times during 7 days, each one of my videos. And every single time he sees new esoteric layers and he expands his awareness and his consciousness. Super fucking important, guys. The more you do this, and this obviously I'm biased because it's my fucking video and I love them, but the more you do this, the more you're going to expand your awareness and your consciousness, and naturally your reticular activating system is going to filter out reality in the right way, okay? So watch these videos over and over again. And obviously it boosts my algorithm, so it's phenomenal. So the reticular activating system. Now coming back to the vibrational alignments. Have you ever wondered why there's some crazy people that see aliens and you don't, right? We know people, Olivia and I, we know people that have seen aliens. And then you're like, okay, let me click off this video. Those guys are weird. No. It's because aliens, right, UFOs and stuff like that, first and foremost, do you realize how primitive we are? We are still in 2025. I keep doing this fucking Trump thing. We are still in 2025. We're in 2025 and we still fucking bomb each other. We still kill each other. Like, isn't it like the fucking perfect sign to show you how primitive we are? Okay? We're a super primitive generation or civilization. And that's why in my personal knowing and opinion, that's why aliens don't fucking come and see us and be like, oh, you know, they're super interesting. No, we're not. We're not fucking interesting. We are just at the level of just tiny bit of above animals level, above chimpanzees. We're still fucking bombing each other and killing each other. That's why aliens don't necessarily spend a shit ton of time with us. My point being is that they vibrate at such a high level that is invisible to the human eye. Remember, this is the entire electromagnetic spectrum, right? So those are all the brainwaves. Sorry, not the brainwaves, but the vibrations. Literally the visible spectrum is literally this. It's 0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. So just imagine if aliens vibrate here or here, we can't see them, right? And also you've noticed, typical example in case, if you look at a wheel, the more, you know, a wheel of a Ferrari, for instance, or a Lamborghini, whatever supercar you like, the more rapid it gets, the less you can see it. Until one point, if it gets above the speed of light, then obviously there's no refraction process anymore, and you can't see it again. You can't see it with your physical eyes. So that's why at a certain speed you can't see things. And if we presuppose that aliens have a greater technology, which is not greater technology than us, which is not really hard to conceptualize, honestly, then obviously we can't see them because they're too fast, right? And they vibrate at such a high level that they don't even necessarily potentially need the 3D. They're like done with the 3D, maybe they're only in the 5D and the 4D, in the 5D and the 4D and the 5D. And it's the same thing with telepathy. Have you noticed? Vibrational alignment. So yeah, by the way, sorry, bit crazy here. Aliens, if you want to see aliens, technically you need to elevate your vibration at the same vibration of the aliens, and they lower their vibration. I've had 2 mentors that have seen aliens because they did that. They were able to ask. Either way, I don't want to get too crazy here in the video, but you get the point. Another example that is going to be clear for you guys is telepathy, right? On the mental plane. If you have a similar vibration, than the other person, right? Well, you're going to look at each other and you're going to think the same thing. This is also why, for instance, at one point you have the similar vibration or frequency than another person, and then you think about that person and then boom, they call you. That's telepathy. That's an example of vibrational alignment. Same thing with love. Why do you say, like, what is true love? True love is literally just like synchronization of the vibration of the 4D. I know you're impressed, Olivier, I know. So love is literally this, is literally like 2 vibrations that are perfectly synchronized, right? And this is why you feel like you're one, right? Why do you think we have sex? Yeah, of course it feels good, you horny motherfucker. But it's also because it feels like we are one, because we have the vibration, the body, the 3D vibration for the sex, and then love is like the synchronization of the vibration in the 4D. So all of this to say that understand the caveat of the universe that you can only perceive what you're the vibrational alignment with, okay? Same thing with abundance. Abundance in terms of the realm here. If you are in the vibrational correspondence with abundance, then you're going to see abundance. If you aren't, then you're not going to see abundance. The difference between 50 Cent and other guys. So literally, this is how you have a prosperous dimensional alignment. Okay? This is literally how you have a prosperous multi-dimensional alignment. Okay, now that this is out of the way, I'm super pumped to show you something very special. So, I hated math when I was growing up because I didn't understand why the fuck we needed to learn sinus, cosinus, and the fucking tangent or whatever the fuck. I'm still not using it, by the way, when I buy my baguette or when I buy food. I'm not like, oh, cashier, could you give me like the cosinus of, $35? No, never happened, never will. So sometimes you learn shit in school and you don't even fucking know why. I just imagine fucking mathematicians coming to see me. Oh, it's actually very useful. Fuck you. Why the fuck are you in this video? Just to comment that bullshit. Either way, my point is, even though I was very anti-math, or not anti-math, I wouldn't say that. I was just like, I sucked at math because I didn't understand the purpose of it. But that's why, guys, that's why I make these videos. When you understand the big why behind things, then you become more interested and you see the purpose behind things. And therefore, you can master things. It's impossible for you to master a subject if you are not interested in it or if you don't understand the why you're doing stuff. Cool. So, guys, take notes. Get excited. Hugo's equation, or rather formula. No, you know what? Even better. There you go. Hugo's sexy formula. Cool. What is it again? I hope I'm not forgetting. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to put it in blue for you guys to understand. So, fx plus We're gonna do that. Okay. Oh, actually, even better. I'm gonna put. Sorry, I'm gonna put it in purple. You guys are gonna understand why. You guys are gonna understand why. So fx plus. I'm going to say iy plus red a z equals delta wealth. Isn't this a masterpiece? I know, I know. Cool. So I know you guys have waited long enough, so I'm going to tell you immediately. The f, so basically this is known, this is unknown. The f is frequency. Okay. The I is intensity. And don't worry, guys, it may not make sense right now, but it's going to make sense. Intensity. The A is anomaly. And then delta wealth, right? Basically, this equation, if you have control over the X, the Y, and the Z. And if you better those X, Y, and Z, there's going to be the difference in your wealth. Now, the frequency here, the X is the quote-unquote height of the frequency, okay? So if you look at the map of consciousness, immediately you see that there is different types of frequency, different types of vibration. And the higher your vibration, the higher your frequency, the height of the level of your frequency is going to be determining the first pillar of this equation, okay? So this is the height of the frequency. Then the Y is confidence, the intensity of your confidence, okay? This literally determines the strength of your signal and your communication to the universe. Have you noticed? What is the commonality with 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old that have no life experience, but they make a shit ton of money? They're ultra confident. It's the most confident motherfuckers out there because they have belief in themselves. And the problem is, there's this paradox that I love, but I find it so dumb, but it's a paradox, really. It's like, this is a balance, okay? This is your balance, okay? And usually, for some fucking reason, the more IQ you have, the less action you take. And why? Because high IQ people, right? High IQ people tend to what? Tend to get stuck in overthinking, over-analyzing. Most of my clients are like geniuses in disguise, but just because they have a high IQ, they tend to think too much on, what if it doesn't work? All the fucking scenarios possible where it doesn't work. And therefore they never take action. And therefore they get fucking lapped by 17-year-old and 19-year-old that are taking action on the limited amount of knowledge that they have. Because confidence is extremely, extremely, extremely powerful for the wealth. And coming back to the frequency, the height of the frequency, the more you operate from a place of love and abundance, right, which is high on the frequency chart, and obviously the more inspired actions and value you're going to give to society, and therefore you're going to get handsomely rewarded for that, right? So you see frequency height, or height of frequency, intensity of confidence, and last but not least, anomaly. The Z is number of actions. The number of actions that are outside of the norms. Outside of the norm. Because it's obviously not, you cannot take a shit ton of action of the same thing that everybody's doing and expect greater wealth. Cleaning, typically, everybody can clean, everybody can wash dishes. Everybody can clean and wipe the floor. It's not because you're going to do that in infinite amount of time, that is going to increase your wealth because it's not valuable. It's like an action that everybody can do is not valued in society. So you need to take a shit ton of actions from the anomaly standpoint, something that most people are not readily aware or readily ready to do. Typically would be building an online business, starting a personal brand, showing your fucking face online. Most people don't have the balls to do that. Fear of the critics, fear of the unseen, or fear of the judgment, fear of the critics. Most people would never buy or invest in a mentor, and that's why because they're so afraid of being scammed or losing their money, not realizing that it's their mind that is the true moneymaker, not the thing that is sitting in their bank account in the savings department. So you see, look at all the actions of what the masses is doing and do the fucking opposite, and then drastically take a drastic amount of actions that an anomaly would do, aka what I do, what all my clients do. Then increase your fucking confidence, G. Like, you really think that somebody is going to pay you handsomely if you come into a fucking meeting and then you say, it's going to be $1 million. Bro, I want to slap you in the fucking face. Nobody is going to pay you $1 million. But if you walk into a meeting and you're like, yes, it's going to be $1 million. Credit card or cash? Boom. Immediately, people are going to trust you more. So you see, the intensity of the confidence, the height of the frequency, and the number of actions that you take as an anomaly will determines the difference in your wealth, in health, wealth, relationships, by the way. Because obviously here, we took the example of the money, but that also is applicable to your health. They've proven that now the number one cause for cancer is chronic stress. So that means what? Stress is literally like a low frequency in the map of consciousness. It's like being stressed, being anxious, sad, anger, all of this creates stress. So the higher level of frequency, the less stress you have, and therefore you remove and you feel good. By the way, I've done a video, I don't know if I should post it, but I've done literally a video on how your frequency has a direct impact on your psychobiology and epigenetics and the expression of certain genes, and therefore the expression of certain sicknesses and certain, how do you call it? The opposite of sickness. C'est quoi déjà? C'est cures. Yeah, the basically how people cure themselves just by frequency, elevating their frequency. Same thing with your health. If you're confident in the belief that whatever you eat, whatever you do is going to work, then you activate the placebo effect, or the placebo effect, which proves that your belief system creates your reality. So the more confident you are in the process working, the more it's going to work. And then the number of actions that you take that are not fucking doing what the masses is doing, eating processed pasta, processed bullshit, chips and snacks and Coca-Cola, then obviously if you go the opposite route, animal-based, vegans, don't come at me please, animal-based, getting sunshine, not being afraid of having skin cancer or whatever the fuck, because actually sunshine and the sun is literally what gives you life, well obviously you're gonna be much healthier. Same thing with Brittany here. Fuck, I actually erased Brittany. But same thing with Brittany, right? Why do you think love is operating from a place of love and abundance is extremely attractive for women, for other people, because they feel that you don't have any traumas. You're authentic. Authenticity is one of the highest frequency on the 3D realm, human realm. Okay, so she would feel your authenticity. She would feel your high vibe. She would feel that you're filled with love, and therefore you can give love to that person. And obviously, confidence, guys. If you're a virgin here and in looking at the video, sorry to tell you, but you need to be confident if you want to have a great relationship with women, because nobody trusts an unconfident man, unfortunately. And then obviously taking numbers of actions that not all men are doing, right? How you seduce her, how charismatic you are, doing some spontaneous stuff that she has never done before, being an anomaly, boom, there you go. So I've proven to you that in the true wealth, which is being rich, being healthy, and having great relationships, that's the true wealth. This equation works. I'm quite proud. Je vais pas te mentir, je suis assez fier de ce que je viens de faire là. Now that you know my sexy formula, so I'm going to put it here again. Fx plus Iy plus Az equals delta wealth. Okay, remember this one? Now I'm going to literally tell you what to expect when you apply this formula to your life starting today. I'm going to give you basically And I'm going to focus mainly on the first two, because the number of actions, it really depends on what type of girl you want, what type of partners you want, what type of health, physique you want, what type of money you want. So obviously the number of anomaly action is like, would be entrepreneur or investing your money or doing something that is outside of the mainstream, would be the employee stuff, the 9 to 5 stuff, right? Creating your own cash flow system, for instance. For women, it would be how can you differentiate yourself, or partners in general, how can you differentiate yourself and become irreplaceable compared to the masses of competition? And then the health-wise would be, the number of action would be like, what type of Pareto lever, the 20% of effort that gets you 80% of results? Is it fasting, intermittent fasting? Is it boosting your mitochondrial health with sun, for instance? For those of you who don't know, mitochondrial health is, the mitochondria is literally the nuclear central, or like the energy center of your cells, for instance, right? And the more you have a healthy mitochondrial, the better your mitochondrial health, the more energy you have, because the more energy flows through your cells. That's the anomaly actions part. Cool. Now, when it comes to the map of consciousness and the frequency level, I'm going to do a bit of a drawing here. Boom. Talking about the 3 paradigms that Olivier loves so much. Always speaking about the 3 paradigms, but it's true. It's really, really important. I would say this one. There you go. So, oops. If you look at the map of consciousness of Mr. Dr. Hawkins, you see that basically all of those emotions are low emotions. It's the survival paradigm, right? That's why most of the masses, most of the people are. Survival paradigm. This is the intellectual paradigm. So once you stop being stressed, you can actually start to use your fucking brain. So this is the intellectual paradigm. And the best and most advanced stuff is obviously the spiritual paradigm. Spiritual paradigm. And once you understand that you're one with everything and you treat everyone and everything as with unconditional love, weirdly enough, because you're one with everything, proven by QE, quantum entanglement in quantum physics, and the law of oneness in spirituality, when you start to be paradigm, when you start to be love, unconditional love with everybody, everyone, you're actually giving love to yourself because you are one with everyone. Cool. So all of this is basically like different rates of vibration. This is a very dense vibration. This is a better vibration, and this is the best vibration, basically, or paradigms of vibration. And this literally will determine your aura. And remember, your aura is literally the translator of your language to the universe. Doesn't speak English, doesn't speak French. Sorry, guys, for my baguette-loving people. Sorry. Doesn't speak Aramaic. Sorry, Jesus fans. Doesn't speak Arabic. Sorry, Muhammad fans. Peace be upon him. So, it's your aura that speaks. Your vibration. Cool. So here, the higher your frequency, the better and stronger layers of aura you have, right? Like this. And that communicates directly with the universe. Now, because the universe is a mirror, spoiler alert, if you don't know this, now you know. If you only operate from the survival paradigm here, right? Well, the universe is a mirror. So whatever you feel, whatever you think, it's going to reflect that back to you. So usually people in the survival paradigm are stuck just doing more. But the problem is, because of their bad frequency and their bad thinking, you're only using one, again, remember the equation, you're only using one lever, right? And even sometimes you don't even use the right levers. But so that's going to basically keep you stuck, right? Keep you stuck at a certain level. And usually, for the simplicity's sake of this video, we're going to take just the $ example for the wealth. Well, this keeps you stuck in a linear equation, right? That's basically your income over time. Okay? You being stuck in a survival paradigm, anger, fear, stress, grief, shame on a day-to-day basis, or most of the time, keeps you stuck in a linear equation of wealth. So basically same amount of money over time. Now, when it comes to the intellectual paradigm, tu peux regarder à combien on est déjà? Combien de minutes on est, s'il te plaît?
1h08.
Oh, okay. I need to move my ass. Sorry, guys. So if you operate from the place of intellectual paradigm, what's going to happen then? Well, you know, again, the universe is a mirror. This is my beautiful mirror, guys. then what's going to happen, you've noticed, you only need the right idea. The main difference between middle class people, they get paid for their time, right? So the more time you get, the more income you get, but it's the same thing, right? It's the same 9 to 5 equation, basically a linear equation. But the world class people, they get paid for their ideas, right? Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, everything, etc., etc., etc. So the world class people get paid for their ideas. And the beautiful thing with ideas and systems, when they're done properly, like what I teach in my mentorship, for instance, this is literally why everything that I'm teaching you here, if you want something like a customized blueprint, protocol specifically for you, for health, wealth, relationships, specifically designed for your godlike reality to enter your godlike identity, then you know what to do. Click in the links in the description. This is literally how we've had clients make 7.5K per week without knowing anything about, business or anything like that. We have people manifesting more than 10K, or manifesting, it's a big word, but you know why it works now. 10K in less than 48 hours. We scaled some miserable multimillionaire shareholders to 10 figures. We scaled a depressed alcoholic who was broke and miserable with the ladies to being a fucking Chad, excelling in every single aspect, selling $100 million homes. We saved some people from suicide. Either way, it's a plethora of people. You can check out all the success stories. Back to the video. But if you want some certainty on how to basically time collapse the time it takes for you to be successful in every single aspect, whether it's in health, wealth, relationship, you know what to do. Coming back to the intellectual paradigm, once you have a better frequency, a better aura vibration from the intellectual paradigm, this reflects back to the universe another equation, which is what we call a logarithmic equation. So basically, it's like this, okay? But it's capped. Because yes, your ideas, let's say for instance you build a business around an idea and that idea gets you paid, but it tends to have a logarithmic equation. Like you're basically limited. Sorry, my dog again. Yes, bro, biggest fan. Come here, please. You're welcome. So a logarithmic equation. So yes, of course, at the beginning you get paid handsomely for your time, but it's capped. It's the income plateau. For you to get to the next level, usually, by the way, my clients are here. My clients are here and they have some kind of ideas. They know what to capitalize on. They have some kind of business or ideas, or they are in the intellectual paradigm. By the way, this is why they're courageous enough to get into my mentorship, because in the intellectual paradigm, this is when you start to, the baseline of intellectual paradigm is like courage. So if you guys want to elevate your frequency, you need to showcase courage. It's the lowest frequency in the intellectual paradigm. If you want to start making more money, you need to showcase courage. And one of the ways they do that is obviously by investing in themselves, hiring a coach. You can hire a mentor. I'm saying me because obviously I'm a fan of myself, like Voltaire here, right? You're such a fan of myself, little guy. But either way, my point is, here, it's once you are operating from an intellectual paradigm frequency, then it reflects back to you more of an logarithmic action. Again, here, we're only speaking about this, right? You obviously need more, you need confidence and you need the right actions, right? The right business model, which is aligned with your time and that people value, and then you need the right intensity of confidence. But here, just for the simplicity of this video, I'm focusing only on the frequency aspect of things, okay? Cool, so it's usually logarithmic wealth equation. And last but not least, when you start to operate from a place of love, abundance, authenticity, and you align yourself godlike reality in all three planes of existence, spiritual, mental, and physical. This is usually when the universe reflects back to you. This is a mirror again, once again, reflects back to you an exponential wealth equation, okay? So remember, survival paradigm, linear equation, intellectual paradigm, logarithmic equation, spiritual paradigm, exponential. This is why I'm doing this shit, by the way. All of these videos are literally helping you to elevate your frequency, because with more awareness, naturally you upgrade your frequency. Because as Claudia said, she solved her anxiety just by watching my videos. So she solved her survival paradigm, simplicity's sake, okay? Solved her survival paradigm. She was able to be courageous enough to start asking me questions. Potentially we're going to work together. If you see this video, shout out if we work together. And basically I'm elevating you guys. Some of my clients that are watching also these videos and that are in the mentorship, they elevate their frequency so much in the spiritual paradigm, and therefore they're able to create an exponential income curve, if that makes sense. Last but not least, because I don't want this video to be too long, you guys have to watch the other videos, but it's good to have, this is like literally the frequency, right? The level of frequency that you're sending out to the universe. Basically I would say the quality of the message, the quality of the communication, and the bond that you're creating with the universe, okay? But again, remember, so this was the frequency aspect of things. Remember that you also want the intensity of the confidence, the intensity of your certainty. Why? Because that's going to literally make the difference between this signal, a static signal, or a strong signal with the universe, okay? So the more confident you are, the more certain you are, the stronger your belief system that the thing that you want and that you want to attract and reveal in your life, yes, because you're only revealing stuff actually, the creator has created all parallel realities, all realities. So the thing that you want already exists in a parallel reality. You just need to reveal it with the correct formula. Hugo's sexy formula. Note it down, specifically the sexy part. Cool. So what you need is basically the stronger you're confident, the stronger the signal, right? That's the, if you want, this is the level, this is the height of the communication, this is the level, the quality of the communication with the universe, okay? This is the strength and the impact, if you want, the impact of the conversation that you have with the universe. And last but not least, the action here, basically, quality, strength, impact, and this is basically proving to the universe that you're ready. This is showcasing your readiness, okay? Readiness to receive whatever you want to receive. Oops, sorry. And this in turn, the universe is getting you back the money, the heart, or the beautiful Britney here with her tits. Boom, there you go. C'était clair? Does it make sense? Mm-hmm. Perfect, guys. Leave your notes in the comments. Hope it was useful. Let me know what next whiteboard masterclass or what subject you want me to go deeper onto. But you go kill it. Apply the Hugo Sexy formula starting today. And let me know in the comments in a few weeks or a few months how it goes for you. Love you guys. Sending you strength. Sending you love. Peace out.
Alors, tu veux pas me laisser travailler? Tu vois pas qu'on est en train de faire une vidéo là? Hein, le loup?
Ah là là. Skyrocket, your wealth.